Hello and happy Wednesday, everyone. With the completion of our previous game, as always, that means it's the time for the start of a new one. And today, we are going to be doing our first episode of a game called Tunnet, which is short for Tunnel Network, presumably. Tunnet is a game about isolated bunkers and about internet routing protocols. I think I kind of want to just let the game speak for itself, because at the start of the game, they do sort of just drop you in and explain stuff on the fly. So I think the work would maybe work best with minimal pre-introduction, you know? So let's just fire it up, shall we? Should get feed momentarily here. And there it is. But with the wrong size. Running a little bit late today, so I didn't have everything fully set up in advance. Hi everyone. Lovely to see you all here. So, as the pinned message says, advertisements were more prolific on my stream than I was aware of. So I'm experimenting with a different setup that should allow free viewers for the first hour of the stream to essentially watch Atlas. We'll see how it works. We're feeling it out, you know? But as I mentioned, this is Tunnet, made by Puzzled Squid, and let's just jump right into it. Technician 01, do you copy? Who is this? Who am I talking to? Sorry to wake you up. It will just take a few minutes to complete the process. Where am I? I am confused. Where am I? Take a deep breath, one thing at a time. I have been assigned to be your supervisor, and I need to get you prepared. Please hold on while I am setting up your locomotion module. Done. Now try to look around and press the red button 16 times so I can complete the calibration process. This should also give you a few credits. We're going to need them later. We cannot actually move still. But we can click a button. Good, your locomotion module is all set. Try and walk and open the door. Also, sensitivity is a little high. There we go. Okay, I find it incredibly funny that the $1 symbols cast shadows. Anyways. Excellent. Last thing we should do before starting the training. Find the vending machine and buy a relay generator. The training? Which training are you referring to? The network technician training. Didn't they mention it to you before your hibernation? I don't remember anything, to be honest. Well, your backup battery seems to be dead. I guess you were not supposed to hibernate for such a long time. This page intentionally left blank. Quick start guide. Connect a relay to the mainframe. Relays can be built on the floor, on the ceiling, or on the walls. The wiring is done automatically. Use multiple relays to connect the endpoint to the mainframe. Use a hub to split the wires. Hubs can only be built on the floor. Dear Technician, my team and I needed to borrow some pages from your manual to enable the endpoints. This was the only copy we could find. More are about to be printed, but unfortunately we couldn't wait for them to arrive. We will return them as soon as we are done. Please proceed as usual and follow the instructions given by your supervisor in the meantime. I apologize for the inconvenience, Captain Robert. 2122 August. And we are missing a lot of pages, it looks like. Relays. Relays can connect two network devices together. $9. It is now time to build a relay next to the mainframe located in the other room. Relays can be built on the floor or on a wall. When built next to other devices, it will automatically connect to them. Everything is sold out except ride batteries? Good morning, sir. May I take your order? What's on the menu? Fried lithium battery, as usual. I will have one. Please. Presumably it's now in our inventory of some kind. I still feel a bit dizzy. Maybe later. Soap is missing. Looks like the structure was designed with humans in mind, at the very least. Either that or robots need to use the bathroom. One of the two. The robots urine from the mines. Book yours now. Okay, yeah, definitely. Humans in mind. I don't think I can afford the rent. Very corporate. Dig your own tunnels. Drills for sale at the vending machine. No, they aren't. Taking an oil leak. Okay. Alright. What is it? Are you a scientist? I am just an assistant. The actual scientist left a long time ago. Why do you think they left? I don't know for sure. They left without notice. What were you guys researching? Mainly networking technologies. Upper management is really eager to build a reliable communication network across the entire underground complex. How do you spend your days here alone in this lab? I am doing my own research project. I am working hard on it, but it's kind of secret at the moment. May I ask you a technical question now? Sure, but be quick. What is the purpose of these mainframes? My supervisor keeps mentioning them. The mainframes are programmed to send instructions to all the endpoints on their cluster. They also communicate with each other when cluster-to-cluster communication is required. I am not allowed to use the endpoints. My job is only to connect them together. Captain Robert, September 14th. The endpoint enabling crew successfully booted up the mainframe of the research lab. Sergeant Mike isolated the thing, and the assistant scientist seems to be operational. We are heading to the military base now. Dr. Susan. What should we do about the robot technician? We cannot leave without completing the procedure. Captain Robert. The initialization process can take several weeks. Our schedule is very tight. We need to move on to the next mainframe now. I will request an engineering team to inspect the site as soon as we come back to the headquarters. Sergeant Mike. I agree with Robert. We don't know what is wrong with the technician, and we have no time to investigate. We need to set up the other mainframes anyway before building the network. Let's move on. Professor Anna. By the way, Sergeant Mike, did you wash your hands after touching the thing? Almost. Our penny-pinching administrators can't even afford soap, apparently. Somebody was designing a hub in this room. Use multiple relays to connect the endpoint to the mainframe. Use a hub to split the wires. Hubs can only be built on the floor. Use the radar to locate other endpoints. Look around to find the direction of the source of the signal. Scanner picks up endpoints randomly. I think there was another page of that. 1 second. Use the drill to dig tunnels. Connect more endpoints to the network. Profit. So our first task is simply to get one of these little pocket items that we have, a relay, which cost me $1, and put it within range of this mainframe here. As you can see, the wiring is done automatically, so this spot is as good as any. It looks like you have successfully connected a relay to the mainframe. Now try to connect the endpoint to the mainframe by building additional relays. The endpoints are located in the other rooms. I'm not allowed to use the endpoints. My job is only to connect them together. This manual aims to provide all the information required by the network technicians to perform their jobs in the Tunnet. The Tunnet consists in an underground network of shelters that can host thousands of people in the event of an apocalypse. The facility is autonomously run and maintained by hundreds of human-looking robots. Farming, cooking, cleaning, and many other maintenance tasks can be performed without any human involvement. The communication network is a central element of this infrastructure. As each shelter has been designed to run independently, the communication network is one of the only means to connect the bunkers together. As a network technician, you play an essential role in the success of the Tunnet. Okay, and with that, we have a line. And so, in theory, and because the researcher over there sent a data packet, as seen there, that arrived to its destination, I gained $2. But the problem now is the mainframe already has a router connection to it, a relay connection rather, so we can't actually make a route to the other endpoint. The manual, however, gave us a pretty clear explanation on what to do about this. Use a hub. Oh. We'll connect that there. We'll pull this port down and put a new one in its place. And then we should be able to... Yes. You will now have to locate the other shelters. You can now purchase a scanning tool to find the location of one of the surrounding shelters. The strength of the signal should then give you the direction to follow. And there we go. This is our first objective completed. This research assistant can now send data packets to that endpoint and that one. It's interesting because you can actually see the information through diagnostics. The researcher will send out a packet that is a test to see if it's working, and then afterwards we'll send a update to one of those endpoint computers. And then when one of those arrives, we get $2. Radar and a drill. The vending machine also offers a state-of-the-art drill which will allow you to reach the other shelters. Try to dig in the directions indicated by your scanner and connect to the other shelters in the network. Or connect the other shelters to the network, rather. 2 connections made out of 65,535. In the upper right there, you can see that there's 38 meters away from this direction. Bit tougher rock and metal wall. There's a building here. Supermarket number 4. We'll be taking those. And a new endpoint. Welcome to the underground supermarket. What can I do for you? I would like to sell something. Our store does not accept returns. I am sorry. This is the new corporate policy. Buy. I would like to buy something. Sure. What can I get you? Everything is out of our price range except for batteries. I would like a battery, please. Custom-made oil for sale. Turn your corn into traditional oil at the Hermitage. Infrastructure. As each shelter has been designed and run independently, the communication network is one of the only means to connect the bunkers together. As a network technician, you play an essential role in the success of the Tunnet. The deployment of communication networks is a complex, laborious, and risky task. Therefore, the engineering department assigned some of the robots, you, to help on this endeavor. As building the network is a far more complex task than any other maintenance work, the robot technicians are equipped with an advanced artificial intelligence module. This means that technicians can solve a much wider set of problems than regular robots and are more likely to think like humans. The module does not come pre-programmed, which means you will have to learn before being efficient at your job. Oh, I suppose, connecting to the network means bringing you on over. One thing I really like to highlight on this channel is novelty. Have you ever seen a game quite like this? I sure haven't. There really is a absolutely infinite array of possible approaches to game design, you know? Pardon me, fella. I need to break the network connection here for a moment. A blue packet just went across the network. Subject: best prices. I'm not sure this is particularly helpful to our scientists now that I think about it. Wait a moment. I think I just accidentally broke a link. Yeah. There we go. Wait, that's the same place that we got last time. Ugh. It's pretty easy to accidentally break links if you're still digging around places. Construction site number 4. To all workers and architects, stop your current task immediately and go to the assembly point. CPU, memory, locomotion processor, stepper motors. This looks like a chart of our own mind. The technician incorporates some unique features that other robots do not have. The AI module has the ability to select important information that it believes to be useful in the future. The information is stored in a dedicated journal memory. This storage has been designed to be extremely reliable, which makes it expensive and slow to access. The hermit can make oil out of corn. Okay. It's kind of neat because this game has some elements of like an idle game to some degree. I feel truly alone in these tunnels. Because we are gaining money as the tunnel, as our network protocols successfully deliver packets to their destinations. By the way, those packets have a destination. You know how I just linked up the supermarket to everything else? Sometimes we're getting science pings that are going to the supermarket when they shouldn't be. This is a problem that we are not yet solving. After all, we have to connect 65,000 things to the network first, and then fix the routing. 26 meters away from us. 0031 is the supermarket's IP address. 33, that's a new one. Oh, did we overshoot it? What was that? Technician 01, I think we have to put your current task on hold. What happened? It felt like something collapsed. I received an unusual signal coming from the research lab. I hope everything is alright. Do you mind taking a quick look over there? To be honest, this is the first time I've had to supervise this type of situation. Please don't do anything stupid once you're there. And by the way, you may call me Madeline. The corporate guidelines do recommend the employees call their supervisors by their first name. So here we are. My name is Madeline. What is yours? Chantal. She, her. Nice to meet you, Chantal. Messages written to the journal are automatically selected by the AI module. The CPU is not involved in the selection writing process, but it can read the journal memory at any time. I guess we, the player, are the CPU. Is what would be implied by that. The robot is also equipped with a state-of-the-art sonar system that can be used to obtain accurate spatial representation of the environment. All the information captured by the sonar is stored in a dedicated memory that can be retrieved by the CPU. This memory also includes a reserve section writable by the CPU. It can be used by the technician to annotate the areas discovered by the sonar module. The technician can also purchase a pre-populated annotation module. The drill is an optional tool that can be purchased by technicians that need to operate between bunkers. The Tunnet has a dig-your-own-tunnel (DYOT) policy, as maintaining public tunnels would be too expensive for the company. This module is not built in and must be purchased separately. There used to be a summer camp here. Moni. I would stay too close if I were you. What happened to the endpoint? The endpoint is infected by a somewhat interesting parasite. I've been studying it for several years in the incubator, but it suddenly managed to escape and infect the endpoint. What can we do about it? I managed to develop an antivirus for it. It can be used to easily disinfect the endpoints. You can try it on this endpoint if you want. Where can I find the antivirus? I put a sample of the antivirus in the vending machine. It's on sale at the moment. You can't miss such a big deal. So you want me to buy your own antivirus? I wouldn't if I had proper funding for my research projects. Yeah, okay, fair enough. There's something very satisfying about watching signals come in from the various locations and converge on points. At any time, we can also pause the network and run step by step by pressing R to pause and then F to move one step. So we can see computer 0000 is trying to reach 0013 for the purpose of contributing to science. If you look over here, this is 0000. And the peers are all the other computers that are physically connected to this one. And so once again, it's looking for 0013. 0013 is in its peers list, so assuming that data packet can continue routing around these places, it will eventually reach its destination. My first antivirus. $200. Fixes an infected endpoint by turning it off and on again. Alright. Will turning this endpoint off and on again solve the issue of eldritch tentacles hugging the thing? Let's see. Oh my god, it did. Chantal, the department appreciates your extra effort to help the scientist. We now expect you to resume your work on the network. Sure. I'm going back to work immediately. What is my next task? The architect has created 4 mainframes. Upper management is requesting us to connect the 3 other mainframes to the network. How can I find the other mainframes? You can buy a long-range scanner at the vending machine. This will give you the direction to the other mainframes. And by the way, the filtering device is now available in the vending machine. That should help you optimize the network. You can ask the scientist for details. Somebody was brainstorming about filters in this room. So the chart shows an arrow that is both red and green moving down toward the station here. A red and green signal goes to this object. Green continues forward, but red gets turned around and re-arriving at the hub, it takes the other route. Somebody was working on some sort of antenna device before the robot scientist repurposed the lab for his research. I'm sorry, is the implication here that we're growing comms antennas? job is to hook these things up, so... I think that should do it. Yeah, looks like it. Hey, Pep. Bird squawking. My second antivirus. Could come in handy. Long-range scanner. 170 meters. I do want a bird emote at some point, but I actually have other emotes that are... Alright, I'm gonna be real. I should have those emotes by now. They are significantly late. But it's out of my control. Please bear with me, friends. So as you can see, the cost of drilling does become gradually higher as you get further away from your main hub area, which is especially irritating when you're dealing with rock, which requires you to drill twice in order to break through it. And just like that, alright, $6. Oh, we're so close though. $18 meters away. Points reward where you can pet the bird. Agreed. Again, though, like... I am unfortunately waiting on assets. Simple as that. You almost landed directly on barbed wire. Unpleasant. Let's see if I can burrow my way upward. My primary point here. There we go. It's a bit rough, but it'll do. Slapdash, that's the word I was trying to find. You shouldn't be here. These robots don't seem to function properly. You shouldn't be here. Dr. Roberts, September 21st. The endpoint enabling crew successfully booted up the mainframe of the military base. Sergeant Mike volunteered to guard the bunker while the network is being built. Brother John, God bless you, Sergeant Mike. We wish you the best of luck in this endeavor. Professor Anna, hope you'll soon get rid of this cold, too. You kept coughing on the way. There's an infirmary downstairs if you need. Sergeant Mike, I'll be alright. The thing we found the other day triggered my spring allergies. I'm used to it. You guys should move on now. The whiteboard says the spiders are afraid of the light. That's a strange thing for my character to just type up to say. Ah. Maybe not. There is an arachnophobia mode if you decide to play this game for yourself, but I will be playing with the arachnophobia mode off. So consider this a fair warning. It looks like we might find spiders here. Who knows if we actually will, but... This optional module allows the technician to fly. This module is not built in and must be purchased separately. After installing this module, the technician will not be able to jump anymore, only flying. Technicians shall be supervised at all times during their working hours. The robots have a built-in telemetry module that allows their supervisor to track their activities. The supervisor can access data such as location, breaks, expenses, private discussions. Certified supervisors, Captain Robert, Madeline, and John Doe. Before we go over there, let's see if we can find a lantern. Found a soccer ball, that counts for something. Eight-legged friends. I agree with you personally. That said, they do still sometimes give me the willies. According to this, several inhabitants of the facility have been found dead. I wonder what this map represents. Someone wrote on it, "My head hurts." That's what we came here to do, isn't it? So... all good. Are you actually afraid of the light, buddy? I feel like that wasn't quite how that was meant to work, but... Oh well. That's how it goes with AI systems in games sometimes. That was probably a little less scary than was intended. Right. Got a job to do. Hope y'all are having a nice day. Oh. Shoot. Chantal, I wanted to award you my congratulations. I would love to nominate you for a department award, but unfortunately upper management only expects us to connect the endpoints together, not to disinfect them. Sorry. And also... Did you hear that? What was that? Sounds like you're cutting off. Oh no. It looks like I'm about to run out of battery. Let me see what I can do. In the meantime, please keep connecting more endpoints to the network. Thanks. Extreme games have gone from really high octane to sort of quiet and meditative in a real hurry here, haven't they? Crypt Worlds is going to also be rather exploratory and meditative, but only in so much that a way where the primary interaction is talking to people or eating things in order to fill up a piss meter. So, you know. Crypt Worlds is a real wild experience, let me tell you. I think I'm getting used to the solitude. Working your way through Deltarune. Ooh, we can make annotations on the map. If we're going to be an expert networker, good note-taking is absolutely... This endpoint was DDoSed. Our job just got a lot more complicated. So let's see. This is 0031. Well, as we've established before, the incredible virus handling system we have is in fact turning the thing on and off again. So correct, F. Zoe Blackheart. We're not fixing the problem by doing it. That doesn't sound like it would fix it. You're right. That said, I do believe that this game... It was probably an intentional choice to use the phrase DDoS, because that's the phrase that most people are going to know. But I would say it would be more accurately be a simple DOS attack instead of a distributed denial of service. Because, I mean, how many endpoints do we have? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. So, like, mathematically, it can't be particularly distributed. 0013. 0013 campsite. Oh yeah, you're familiar with like information security and technology stuff, aren't you? So, oh yeah, I'd be happy to hear additional insights you have on this. What is it? May I ask you a technical question? I just unlocked the filters. Do you happen to know how they work? Filters can be used to route packets or prevent them from being transmitted. Why would I want to do that? Some packets are considered as sensitive, which means they won't be forwarded if they reach the wrong destination. The filters can help you by controlling the path the packet should take. They can be quite versatile when combined with the hubs. Not sure I'm following. Just take the time to experiment with the endpoints in the lab. You'll eventually figure it out. Will do, thanks. Okay, let's pause the network. 0033 is the source of this DDoS. It's not tearing the whole network down, but there's a lot of irrelevant packets that are moving around our network already. Doubly so since we don't actually have any logic whatsoever on where these are going. So every packet is going everywhere, and anytime they actually reach their intended destination is pure coincidence. 0002. Yeah, things have already gotten real messy real quick. I just misspelled me. That was embarrassing. So we've got garbage data coming in somewhere. I think we've looked at everything else. It has to be the campsite or the military installation that we just hooked up. One of the two. I think we lost a significant amount of money for running too close to that guy. Good morning, madame. May I take your order? Toasty iron lithium battery. There, you can cut that bottle. Okay. If all these issues are coming from the campsite endpoint, then that means if we put a filter near the campsite endpoint, that blocks everything the campsite ever throws, then that would fix the issue. However, that's a problem if the campsite ever actually wants to deliver genuine information. If we do this, though, it should still be possible for information to go to the campsite. Ah, I see. So we can look at the port numbers by looking at the object here. So port 0 is the side that the endpoint here is on. So let's wait for a... Congratulations, you won! Now here's a complication. We don't actually have a way to check for multiple IP segments at once, which means that we need multiple filters in a row to check both. If it's coming from 0, and the final bit of the IP is 3, drop it. As you can see, those sparks are appearing, which means that a packet is being dropped. So I believe this is working. The only issue is if there is a different port that ends with a 3, or a different endpoint that has a port that ends with 3, could potentially bounce toward the campsite, and then from there come back and trip the filter. But that could be solved by making sure that... Why, let's solve that right now, actually. We get a second filter. Oops. We get a second filter. We say if something's coming from port 1 and it has a 3, send it back. And so by doing that, we will never run into that edge case that I mentioned. And through this, we have now isolated this computer from sending any data to the rest of the network, while technically still allowing never mind. We'll see if the campsite wants anything. Catch up on chat a little bit here. There may unfortunately still be a couple of packets that are flying around that are from that. Let's see here. Put everything on different subnets and walk backward into hell. Summer camp of scams. And tensions rising over approaches to protocol and subnet design. I would expect nothing less of my chat. Love y'all. As you can see, it's still really chaotic around here. And this is where actually sniffing out what locations each of these want to send to becomes valuable. They can still be connected to the network, but if this scientist never actually wants to talk to the wider world and only wants to talk to these 3 computers around him, then we could put a filter right here in order to make sure that this scientist can send signals quickly and efficiently only to the 3 things he wants to talk to. Likewise, if nothing out there wants to communicate with this mainframe, we could do the same thing the opposite direction and say, don't come over here. And here's another issue. From 0031 to 0011, we literally don't have 0011 connected to the network, but that doesn't mean the supermarket isn't trying to contact him. Allows filter to handle packet collisions. I think that's a new feature. I don't think that existed when I played this the first time. If Zoe also putting it well. If anything comes from this crank, shove it into the recycling bin. And that is precisely correct. That endpoint sends a packet, send that packet straight to hell. Moo, the ultimate packet murderer. Is this bunker made of wood? Why would you do that? Housing market is really getting out of control. 2048 to buy cabin. The door is closed. And that's an endpoint in there. Let me hook you up. Let me in. It is my goal in life. It is my purpose. Big Moot Hell's Hell Network. Home of the meanest sons of robots this side of the bunker network. Guaranteed. I suppose I can preset this stuff in advance a little bit. Zero, zero, 1, 2. Weapon for sale. Color blue. Free endpoint. I believe that's just one of the. Yeah, that's just the lab one. .0013 is over here. And so, as I mentioned before, the supermarket is actually trying to get... has been sending packets across the network to this endpoint, which isn't hooked up at all. And so, I don't know if it's all the supermarket packets are trying to go over here, but at the very least, the supermarket is occasionally sending packets that are doing literally nothing but bouncing across my network at random, trying to reach a place they will never find. Oh, it's the construction site. I guess I failed to hook this up. So I have these labeled wrong. You're trying to advertise to a construction site? Huh. Not my place to question it. Home of challenge routing. Oh, God. Y'all are doofuses. If you wanted this network to not be based on archaic infrastructure that has already been established before I had the ability to route or filter packets, then I don't know what to tell you. Game was rigged from the start. Port 0. if the source is 0, send back. Let's see. Let me look at all these. We're going to run the assumption that the laboratory only wants to speak to the laboratory, and that other people do not want to speak to the laboratory. A bit of a bold assumption, but I think at large we're going to get more results from this. And until we buy ourselves the packet sniffer and better diagnostic tools, we don't have that great of a way to know without precise note-taking of every single packet that ever passes through these lines. You can wrote. We'll DDoS your endpoint. We'll ping your wife. Oh my god, y'all. What? Hang on, I got a phone call, everyone. 1 second. Hello? Oh, hello, Zoe. What's up? Not directly. I have you on my phone here. So you're pinging your wife? Is that what you're doing here? Would you like to say something to the audience here?
No.
Goodbye to you too. Hi, yes. We'll ping your wife. If you're going to do this joke... Hello? Hi.
Wow, there's a delay. That's strange. I can do this too. I love you.
Cool. Thank you, user Daedalus, for pinging me. This is an accurate simulation of how networking protocol ends up working out. People call you while you're busy and trying to work with numbers, and they tell you, "Hi, I'm here to just say I exist."
I can confirm that no one in the nerd zone at the mainframe wants to talk to anyone else.
Thank you for this intel.
I do this because I am a nerd and I know this. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I am losing my mind. My phone's on mute now. The joke is over. Okay. If something comes in on port 1, send it back no matter what. Mr. Laboratory Man wants to speak to his laboratory computers, and that's it. You are lunatics. Well, I can't focus anymore. Okay. Source is from anything. If the source of the packet received on network on port 0 has a 0 in the second position, send it back. I think this is working, albeit slowly. Oh no. I am so incredibly on the back foot now. You are called 0002. Manually connect that wire. Damn it. If port 0 is not ending with 2, then bounce it back. That's going to 02, 02, 02. Cool. Do the same thing over here. This is a 003. 0003. If on port 0, it's different than 000, it's different than ending with 3, then send back. I wait for a packet to come in to make sure. Okay. This is an interesting problem we're running into. Packets are coming up here and ending up in this hub. Hubs will always route in a specific order. They will go from wire 0 to wire 1 to wire 2. So let's follow the path of a packet that ends with a 3. It comes from the mainframe, arrives here. The hub, always, since it's coming from this spot, will route it this way. It gets sent back because it fails this filter. Because it's coming from 1, it now heads to 2. Because and it goes through here. It arrives at hub on the 1 line, which brings it to the 2 line, which means it skips. So, if we want that to work correctly, hold left click and wire these up in the order that we want. So now, that's the 0 port, that's the 1 port heading that direction, and that's the 2 port heading up there. 2 port. And then once again, it's going straight to a filter, so if it's not heading toward this computer, it bounces straight back. And there we see a packet that ends with 3. Wait a second. Okay, that one was right, but I think one of those was odd. Hey, guess what? The person who called in a bit ago, Daedalus, is a liar. From 0000 to 0033, subject firmware update. 33 is located at the campsite. The mainframe wants to fix the DDoS. So that's a time where the mainframe will actually reach out to other locations, it looks like. To Daedalus's call-in credit, I believe that might be a new feature. Because I kind of remember that solution too, of keep the mainframe completely siloed and have all packets stay within this area. Nerds are often underestimated. When it comes to spite matters, yes. Test pad, new item. This kind of seems like it's a complicated one. Let's see if we can work it out, though. drop down a test computer, connect it to the hub. Oh, we get to pick the address of this computer and pick a destination. Okay. Diagnostic tool. Want a Minecraft mod version of this that's about connecting infinite procedural bunkers. Yeah, it's sort of like a fork of the various, or not fork, but a addition to all the various automation mods that already exist for Minecraft and stuff. I could see it. In any case, though, I'm getting back into the swing of things a little bit after some issues I discovered with my streaming setup. And so I think I'm going to keep this as a relatively smaller scale stream today. And it being an hour and a half, which is the standard earliest breakpoint, I think that'll do it for today's episode of Tunnet. And for viewers, a question for y'all that are not subscribed. In the first hour, you shouldn't have gotten any sort of like sidebar advertisements or anything like that. But after 1 hour had passed, I believe you should have. And I'm wondering if that is consistent with what y'all saw. You can reach out to me in any other method as well. But for now, next time when we get back to this game, we're going to do a lot of network cleanup. And also figure out exactly what computers want to talk to who. Because if a computer never reaches out to somebody, then that saves a lot on network traffic. Thank you all for the... Thank you for my 2 callers that called in to ping me midstream. Incredible bit that I was not expecting, genuinely. And let's find who to raid to, shall we? After saving. There we go. Oh, Eula Castor is playing Repo. I shut off Repo previously at one point. I might return to it again for a bonus feature. In any case, though, I hope you'll join me for the next episode of Tunnet, or join me for our next episode overall, which will be the debut of Crypt Worlds. Until next time, friends.